Welcome back to NT Coins World, where your passion for coins meets top-tier numismatic knowledge. If you're a collector, investor, or simply a history enthusiast, you're in for a real treat today. We're diving deep into two incredible Washington quarter dollar coins that have fascinated collectors for decades. Buckle up, because what you're about to discover might just surprise you and make you take a second look at those quarters in your collection. Let's kick things off with the 1967 Washington quarter. Now, this isn't just any coin. At first glance, it might look like an ordinary quarter, but the story behind this coin and the era it came from is absolutely rich with historical and numismatic significance. 1967 was a unique year for American coinage. It came right in the middle of a critical transitional period for US coins. Just 2 years earlier, in 1965, the United States Mint made a major change. Due to a silver shortage, the Mint removed silver from the quarter. That meant from 1965 onward, quarters were no longer made of 90% silver, but instead from a clad composition of copper and nickel. The 1967 Washington quarter falls right into this post-silver era. The 1967 Washington quarter is composed of an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a core of pure copper. The total weight of the coin is 5.67 grams. Its diameter is 24.3 millimeters, with a reeded edge that is consistent with the traditional design of quarters. The obverse, or front, of the coin features a left-facing bust of George Washington. This design was created by John Flanagan, based on a 1786 bust by French sculptor Jean-Antoine Houdon. Above Washington's head is the word Liberty, and to the left, right near the edge, is the motto, "In God We Trust." The date, 1967, is centered at the bottom. The reverse side of the coin also features John Flanagan's iconic design. It displays a majestic bald eagle with outstretched wings perched on a bundle of arrows, with 2 olive branches beneath it.
Above the eagle are the words United States of America and the national motto E Pluribus Unum. At the bottom of the reverse is the denomination quarter dollar. Now, here's where things get even more interesting. The year 1967 saw the continuation of an unusual policy by the US Mint. From 1965 to 1967, to combat coin hoarding and shortages caused by the transition away from silver, the Mint did not use mint marks. That means there are no 1967 quarters with a P, D, or S mint mark. Every quarter from this year appears identical in that regard, regardless of whether it was struck in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. Despite the absence of mint marks, the mintage for the 1967 Washington quarter was massive. Over 1.5 billion coins were struck. Specifically, 1,524,031,848 coins. This high mintage means that the coin is relatively common, especially in circulated condition. However, that doesn't mean it's not valuable or interesting to collectors. In fine condition, a 1967 Washington quarter may only be worth its face value, 25 cents. But in uncirculated condition, values start to rise. For example, in Mint State 60, MS60, the coin can sell for around $1. In MS65 condition, it might fetch between $5 and $15, depending on the market. The real value kicks in with coins that have been certified as superb gem or higher, like MS67 or MS68, which can be worth $100 or more, depending on their eye appeal, luster, and strike. Let's talk about errors, because that's where this coin becomes especially exciting for collectors. Although the US Mint was producing coins in high quantities and under pressure during this time, quality control sometimes slipped, resulting in some unique minting errors. One of the most sought-after errors for the 1967 Washington quarter is the double die. A double die obverse, where the letters and numbers appear slightly doubled, is a notable error to watch for. There are also off-center strikes and die cracks, which add to the coin's value depending on the severity and placement of the error. An off-center strike of 10% or more can fetch $20 to $100, and even more if it's dramatically misaligned and in good condition. Another notable variety is the SMS, or Special Mint Set coins. Since proof sets were not issued in 1967, the US Mint created special mint sets to satisfy collectors. These coins were struck with extra care, using polished dies and planchets to produce a better finish than standard circulation coins, though not as refined as true proof coins. The 1967 SMS Washington Quarter is distinguishable by its satiny finish and stronger strike. These coins can be worth anywhere from $3 to $30, depending on grade, and even higher for pieces graded SP68 or higher by PCGS.
Next up, we have the 1971 D Washington Quarter. Now, this coin is a fascinating follow-up to our 1967 feature because it takes us a few years further into the post-silver era and gives us more context on how the Washington Quarter series evolved in the 1970s. The 1971 D Washington Quarter was struck at the Denver Mint, as indicated by the D Mint mark located to the right of Washington's ponytail on the obverse side. By this time, mint marks had returned after being suspended from 1965 through 1967. The return of mint marks reintroduced a layer of collectability and allowed collectors to distinguish between mint locations. Like the 1967 quarter, the 1971 D was struck on a copper-nickel-clad plancher. This means it has a core of pure copper with outer layers composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel. The coin weighs 5.667 grams and has a diameter of 24.3 millimeters. The obverse still features John Flanagan's classic portrait of George Washington facing left. Above his head is the word Liberty, and to the left is the phrase "In God We Trust." Below Washington's chin, the date 1971 is prominently displayed, and the mint mark D is clearly visible to the right of the ribbon in Washington's hair. On the reverse side, the eagle design is unchanged. A proud bald eagle with outstretched wings is perched on a bundle of arrows, with two olive branches just beneath, symbolizing the dual message of strength and peace. The inscriptions United States of America and E Pluribus Unum appear at the top, while quarter dollar appears at the bottom. The total mintage of the 1971 D Washington Quarter was significant. The Denver Mint struck approximately 258,134,128 of these coins. This large mintage means that, like the 1967 quarter, the 1971 D is quite common in circulated condition and easy to find in pocket change even today. In terms of value, a 1971 D quarter in fine condition is typically worth its face value of 25 cents. However, things start to get more interesting in higher grades. In uncirculated condition, especially grades MS63 to MS65, values range from $1 to $15. When a coin reaches a high mint state grade, such as MS67, it can fetch significantly more, sometimes $100 or more, especially if it has excellent luster, a strong strike, and minimal contact marks. Let's now dive into the topic of errors and varieties. One of the most popular areas of interest for the 1971 D Washington Quarter is the presence of striking errors. Among these, off-center strikes and clipped planchets are the most collectible. Off-center errors, especially those with 10% or more misalignment, can sell for $50 to $150, depending on the degree of the error and the coin's condition. Clipped planchets, where a portion of the coin is missing due to an error during the blanking process, also attract attention from collectors. These can range in value from $25 to $100 or more. Another point of interest is coins struck through grease, which results in weak or missing details on one or both sides of the coin. While not always highly valuable, these errors are fun to collect and can be worth $10 to $50 depending on severity. There are also some coins from 1971 D that exhibit machine doubling, which is often confused with true double die errors. Machine doubling occurs due to mechanical issues during the striking process, and it usually has minimal added value. However, true double die errors, while rare for this date, can significantly increase a coin's value if authenticated. Grading plays a crucial role in the value of the 1971 D quarter. Coins with brilliant uncirculated surfaces, sharp strikes, and no visible contact marks are far more desirable to collectors. Coins certified as MS67 by grading services like PCGS or NGC are much harder to find and command premium prices. In addition to errors and high-grade examples, collector interest is also driven by registry sets. Coin collectors who aim to complete registry sets with the highest grade coins available will often pay top dollar for premium examples of even common date coins like the 1971D. If your 1971D quarter is in top condition and has attractive toning or an especially strong strike, it might be just the coin a registry collector is looking for. Lastly, let's not forget the cultural and historical significance of the Washington Quarter series. Introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, the series has become a fixture of American coinage. By the 1970s, the Washington Quarter was deeply embedded in American life, used daily by millions, and serving as a constant reminder of the nation's heritage. So, whether you're new to coin collecting or a seasoned numismatist, the 1971D Washington Quarter is a coin worth knowing about. It may be common in circulation, but high-grade examples, error coins, and beautifully preserved specimens offer significant value and insight into America's rich coinage history. Thanks for joining us today on NT Coins World. Don't forget to